One Alakazam. It looks like we're good.
Well, hello everyone out there in Twitchlandia and at some indeterminate point in the future on YouTube. I hope you're having a good day, night, week, weekend, year, month, who knows. But I hope you're having a good time. And we are about to get to some Breath of the Fall. But first, we're going to get around to cast and crew. But even before that, which is pre-first, or I don't know, anyway, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about some sponsors, or at least one sponsor. But they're so cool, it feels like we have multiple. And that is Tabletop Loot. And if you go over to tabletoploot.com, put in WebDM15, you're going to get 15% off dice mugs and t-shirts. And you're going to get a little extra token and maybe even a business card out of it. I don't know. I don't know if they're still doing that, but I think they are. So check them out. Give them some love. They have great dice. What do you know? So let's get around to cast and crew and see how everybody's doing tonight before we do a little bit of an intro and then hop back into the action, starting with you, the bespectacled Grant. How are you, sir?
Hi, everybody. My name is Matthew Mercer. I am the game master of Critical Role and the author of the Tal'Dorei campaign setting, and I also do voices on cartoons and video games. Take it away.
God, I didn't know he was going to be this.
Surprise, everyone.
I was like,
Oh, that's a chewy one. That's a chewer.
Yeah.
I'll be back in a second. I was like, oh no, I feel like I'm having a lung issue.
Well, yeah, where's Hand? We got a Chewy. All right. Next up, we have Trey.
Yo, what is up? Oh, I can indirectly taste his chew. That's absolutely horrible. I should never be that close to a member of our team. I am here, ready and still setting up, as you can see, but I am ready to rock and roll with Taiwu the Reason. The creepy kid next door that you like to throw rocks at, man. He's a hideous nano who employs magnetism. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm ready. Emma, how are you doing?
Hi, Pruitt. I'm very tired.
That's one way to be.
I'm excited to be playing Zen of Dance in this role-playing game. Jesus. Are you
Oh my God. Grant! Grant!
Hang on.
Snake!
You can do it. You can do it.
Anyway, I'm sorry. Good, continue.
I had nothing else to say. I'm playing Zen of Dance. I'm excited to be here. And I'm going to try not to babble too much today. Because even on a good day, I babble all the time. We all know this.
Yeah. No, I'm counting on it, in fact. So,
what does that mean?
well, I mean, hey, sometimes you just like, well, you'll see. And last but not least, we missed her last week, but how are you doing, Kiana? You're back.
I am doing good. I did miss y'all last week, but I was literally in the air a few minutes before the game went live, so I wasn't able to catch it. But I'm excited to be back and here again. Hopefully my internet doesn't fuck me over. But yeah, I don't know, Grant. I don't know if stream can hear it, but this is the time. I play Xenia, who is a jovial nano who controls gravity, because that's always a fun time. Oh, God.
Well, I certainly hope that Grant is okay.
Sounds like a lung.
I hope that that I don't think that they can hear him. Hopefully not. Anyway,
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. So we're going to do a bit of a recap before we plunge into the action here. Where we left off was Zenith Dans had fallen, had embraced the fall, as it's called, had taken the plunge, and a mission was put together to go rescue survivors. And in that mission was Grant's character, Bass LaFontaine, and also Taiwu the Risen, along with Taiwu's sometimes rival, sort of frenemy, Boro, but a fellow scrapper. But he'd be good in a spot. And then a few of the regulators, along with one of the high counselors, one who has been especially rough on Taiwu and Boro. And y'all made the descent, ran into some pirates, got them all fucked up, found a door. You couldn't get in it, but it seemed very active. Meanwhile, Zenith Dans was trying to make it back up to the city of Aru, not knowing how far he had fallen. Skirted away from some predators, found some iridescent moss, and then stumbled upon some children on a ledge engaged in some kind of ritualistic combat for the right to rule their small little pride of kids. But on that ledge, what caught Zenith Dan's eye is a door that looked very similar to one much further up, except this one was dismembered and all of its technology was gutted. So he was able to actually go in and see some pods that looked like you could stand in. Their doors ripped off their hinges, some panels. But again, all the technology long since taken away. It's just a jagged husk where these kids were staying. But with the, a good use of some diplomacy and the right giving of a cipher, Zenith was able to bargain for a winged suit that these kids had made. And flew back up and actually luckily ran into the pirate blimp that contained the rest of our heroes searching for survivors and found them near the same door that Zenith saw on the way down, and then got to look inside a counterpart even further down, and the mystery thickens as they could not get inside the store as its handprint would not allow entry. And so they returned to the city of Aru. But after all of that, we're going to rewind time just a little bit, because in a bar in Zinnia's favorite place to hang out is a little bar called I'm trying to remember actually. Did you give me a name for your bar? Uh-oh.
I think she's frozen. Oh, there she goes.
Uh-oh. Are you there?
Slow motion Kiana.
It's slow motion Kiana.
Are you maybe roboting?
Yeah, you are. You're roboting a little bit. Yeah, you're not playing. You're not playing E4-4 this time.
No. Okay, yeah. I don't know why it's been funky. It's yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you're at your favorite bar. We'll just call it the Whistle. Every time the wind comes up through, it has a nice tune that plays about it. Where Redona is the bartender. It's one of your best friends. And it was when it was a little bit after there was a call to action, and three young scrappers came in. They had just recovered from that initial downdraft, and then they answered the call to action to go save the others. And I don't know if you would have answered that, but at that moment, Zinnia, your messaging your messenger blings, and it's like the high alert job chime, like it's the you need to check me like right now, you're about to make a lot of money chime.
Okay, yeah, definitely flip open the comm and see what's going on over there.
Hey, so you made your regular job.
Yeah, my weird.
You're weird every time, same month, from one place to the other. You get paid way too much for the route, but yeah, that's that. For the first time ever, and twice in the same day, you're getting a page from that same buyer, except they want you to pick something up at the normal drop-off point and bring it to the normal pickup point. And it's like tasked high priority. As it just sits there and the little confirmation is kind of blinking at you of will you accept this job?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
So while everyone else, you might actually look out and see Bass LaFontaine, whether you know him or not. You're You might see Taiwu like move into the High Council chamber as everybody's moving in for the call to action to go and save everyone. But you make your way to a tower. It's one of the smaller ones, but it's mostly like small. Like there's different kind of like labs, like biology labs, like different kinds of like horticulture, things like that. It's a very scientific tower, but you're delivering to the residential area of it. And so you arrive there on the residential level, and are standing at the door that you normally drop off at.
Hey, what's going on over here?
Nothing. Nothing. And a small little bookish man who he normally never is. At most, he said like hello to you when signing for the package, and you dropping it off. But he never really makes eye contact. He just looks like he's maybe just busy to get back to his work and doesn't like to be distracted or what. But he is very just like gingerly like hands you, and it's the same type of package. It's like a small briefcase size container. It's got a little handle on it, but it looks the same as you always do. But he kind of hands it to you, and he's like, "Thank you."
Oh, okay. That's a little out of normal timing. I mean, I literally just dropped it off earlier today. Is this going back a return? What's going on over here?
Well, I didn't initiate the job, but I believe it is going back to where you normally pick up. Thank you. It's a weird day, so crazy wind, huh?
Yeah, real wild. And all right, just shrug and take the case.
Okay.
I just want to add that I saw Goody Proctor with the devil there for a minute. And
I'm glad you're okay.
I don't know if I'm that, but I'm ready.
Or you're alive.
Let's do it.
You still have both lungs intact.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. Thank you.
You're like a ref asking a fighter if he can go on. I'm just like, yeah.
You good? Look at me. Look at me here. How many?
Cinco.
All right. He's good. Let's get it on. Sorry. So Zinnia, you're heading back. The wind is about to pick up, and do you just head back? Head straight there.
Yeah, I guess. It's kind of curious to what's going on, but also,
Well, do you just go straight there?
Yeah, I think she's gonna start heading towards there, but now she's more curious as to what this package is.
Okay. Would you like to do anything with it?
I don't want to open it. But can I do anything?
Do you have any abilities or ciphers that could allow you to observe the package?
Yeah, that's what I'm
In any
trying
way?
to see if I have any. No. Nope. Nothing. The only thing I have is like related to puzzle solving and riddles. That's as close. Oh, understanding Numenera, if this is one.
Well, I mean, it is a container. So it is. I mean, I would say in a way that is kind of like if you're trying to like look at it or check it, that is like trying to solve a puzzle, opening it without them knowing.
Yeah, we're gonna try to do that.
Okay. So this will be a level 4 task.
Okay.
You're trying to open this container. Do you do it while you're flying, or do you pull over somewhere, or do you like keep moving?
I think just to examine it would be while still moving, and let's just figure it out would be stopping and opening it.
Okay. I mean, you have both hands free while you're hovering, so I wouldn't. Yeah. All right. So, so it's a level 4 task challenge to try to get into this thing.
Okay.
As you kind of look at it, and you see it's got like a lock to it, but it's, you probably might have some experience with getting into locks and things like that.
I mean, I've had to do weird tasks of all kinds, so maybe some of those involve
Mhm. Yeah, I mean,
who knows?
yeah, figuring out how to open this case, you know.
Yeah. So puzzle solving skill.
Mhm.
Um.
So okay, so you have your training in that skill, so it brings it to a 3. Are you going to use any effort?
Yeah, I'm gonna use one level of effort.
Okay, so it brings it down to a 2.
Ooh.
6 or better.
That's a 12.
Yep. Okay, you're good. You start messing with what looks like you stick a pin in here, but you realize like there's no threading for a key. Like it looks like a key has never been in there, and that's when you notice you can lift up the little section where the key is, and then that lets another piece slide out, and it's like a little puzzle container. And so, yeah, you just kind of and you pop open the end, and it's almost just like I said, it's like almost like a small briefcase or like a futuristic trapper keeper kind of thing. And you just kind of open the end up and look in, and what you see is like a flat tablet that has some dials, buttons, a little screen. It is like it's a piece of Numenera that is like on, like it's like active and on. And then next to it, you see like a file folder with looks like some printouts in it.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Do I have any idea what this Numenera is doing?
I
Or
don't
can
know.
I figure that out?
I mean, you can try to understand it if you'd like. So,
I would like to try to understand it.
okay. So you're gonna take it out?
Again, as much as like trying to keep it in and untouched as possible, but if she has to, she will.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you can give me a. Okay. Here's the thing. You can try to keep it in the case and check it. It'll just be at a higher level, or you can take it out and it'll be at a lower level because you have better access to it. What would you like to do?
We're gonna keep it in the case.
Okay. All right. So this is going to be a level 6 task then.
Jesus Christ. Okay.
So because I mean it's like imagine trying to work an iPad like in a briefcase that only the end opens, and you're like kind of like trying to mess with the dials and stuff while keeping it in there while flying.
Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be a level 6 task. So
okay.
So your understanding brings it to a 5.
Yeah. Yeah. She's gonna pull out her book and see that she carries on her that has her notes on all these different types of things. See if she can cross-reference.
Well, then, if you have if you actually have like a book like that, then that counts as an asset.
Cool. Yeah, I have a book about the Numenera.
Okay, there you go. That counts as an asset, so that brings it to a 4.
All right, we're just gonna give it a go.
You gonna do any effort, or just do it at that?
No, we'll put in one level of effort.
All right, we're at a 3, 9 or better.
Okay.
I'm just kind of like reaching in here, just.
That is a 10. Ha.
All right. You can tell that this thing is like actively scanning the area. Like it's just like scanning and taking measurements. Like right now. You're not really sure what for. You can't like, but you can tell that like this is some kind of like, it's a Numenera that, scans like an area. You're not sure what for, and you're not sure the range, but it definitely is a scanner. And it's on right now.
Ah, weird. Yeah, we're just gonna close that back up.
Okay. And go ahead and give me another test to shut the case properly and get everything all back. So that starts as a level 4 task.
This is just for the puzzle?
Yeah, this is the puzzle. So your puzzle skill has... Mm-hmm.
Yeah, puzzle skill again. Yeah, okay. Gonna give that a go. That's a net 20.
I think the internet Did you get a nat 20? No!
I'm going to rule it as a nat 20.
Kiana, come back to us. from the land of robotics
We
and
Come on.
stop motion photography.
Okay.
It's like Phil Tippett Studios is operating her over there. Yeah.
Yes.
Is she
So
moving?
that was a nat 20. So yeah, you manage. I hope that I hope Kenna can hear us. I can't really remember when you go all robot like that if you can actually hear everyone else. But Kenna manages to pop all this back into place, wipe off any evidence of fingerprints or anything like that, and this looks like a perfectly sealed container, much like when she picked it up. Did you hear that?
I got the last bit. Sorry about that.
Oh,
My nat 20 broke it.
Your nat 20 broke the internet. No. You managed to just pop everything back in place. Like you remember, it's like a 7-step process on each side, and you pop everything back in place perfectly. Fingerprints gone. Like this thing was never touched. And not only that, you realize like you are well within your normal flight plan. Like the normal time it takes you to make this delivery should be the same, and you're like sitting here like right on time and right on target. So you managed to do all that without stopping or seeming like you stopped. So I'm just going to say that nat 20, if there were anyone trying to look to see if there was tampering, it would be a lot harder for them to figure it out. And so, yeah, you show up at the at the residential tower that you normally pick up from. It's one of the higher end towers that hang down. It's all residential, and it's all the best scientists, the best merchants. Your counselor that owes you a favor, she lives over here. Only the richest in Aru can afford to live in these finer establishments with like indoor toilets and things like that. Like each room has a toilet. It's crazy. And so, yeah, you arrive.
Just going out the door if nobody's standing there.
Okay. Yeah, the door just slightly creaks open, and you see what you always see, which is the sliver of a face. It's hard to make out, kind of maybe sallow, sunken cheeks a bit, and just sits there and stares at you, and you see his eye kind of flick down to the folder.
Package?
Thank you. And you see a hand just kind of extend forward.
Just gonna hand it over.
And he takes it, and the door shuts. And that is the first time you've ever heard that fare speak.
Yeah.
Normally the package is just waiting, leaning on the door. And the door shuts.
Just gonna be like, all right, have a good day.
And you just kind of hear motion from inside that kind of drifts away to nothing. And that's
Cool.
and that's that. Where do you go after completing this mission?
He's gonna first check to make sure that the it's shown that the job has gone through and that she'll get her payment.
Yep, it's already registered as closed, and because this was a rush priority, they give you double the rate, and the shins have already transferred. But it doesn't seem like there's anything else. And so, as Zinnia goes back into the city of Aru, where do you head? Like after completing a job like that, and you got you're a little kind of flush with coin.
Yep.
Because you've already missed the window for everybody to go down. Some people have started coming back with survivors. You've seen survivors coming back up with like emergency chutes and things like that, riding the wind up. But where do you go?
I think she's going to go to the edge, where she knows that are people kind of going down, so that she can check it out, see what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, so you go to the edge of the city, and or do you go to the actual edge of HEl-A, of the land?
Wherever she knows that the drop off would be for like the rescue effort would be.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they just kind of descended in all directions because they basically worked their way to the walls and went down that way. And so it's really just, if you want to go to an edge and just like look out, see for people coming back, ones and twos every now and again, come back. You actually see the three kids that came in earlier to the bar. You see a couple of them come back with a couple of their friends that they were like, we gotta go save them, because they left them behind. And they mentioned something about a former regulator they saw pass by, but they don't know if he fell. He just, and they were just like, he just kept falling, and very worried. But it's there that you on the edge, and then you're looking down, and you see a group of like 7 people come hurtling up. And I don't know if you recognize Bass or Zenith or Tai Wu or the Regulators. Certainly one of the High Counselors. They're all returning, and the 2 kids that were like, "Holy shit, he actually lived!" And they're just astounded. But it looks like they're heading straight to the High Counselor's tower, and that's where we're going to cut over. As Zenith, you
at least Bass and
what was that, Kiana?
Oh no, I was gonna say that she would have at least been like, okay, yeah, I would start following. No, internet, why? I'm sorry, guys.
No, it's okay. So you were saying you're gonna follow them over there?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you follow as they're all kind of alighting there. Zenith, when you land, you see across the council chamber, you see Ruth. She's talking to Barry, but she like sees you. And
does she look like she's enjoying talking to Barry?
I mean, everybody's very stressed right now. Like nobody looks like they're really enjoying anything.
Okay.
But there is some slight arm contact as she makes a point. But at that, like you land up on the ledge, and you see her turn and look at you, and you see a look of relief flash across her face, and she starts to head towards you like at a quick clip, but she kind of restrains herself and just walks over, and gives you a hug. It just gives you kind of a platonic embrace, but there is some warmth to it.
Zenith hugs her back about 2 steps more emotionally intimate than her.
Mm-hmm.
And he lets his breath just lets out some of the stress. Not as much as when he hugged and cried. I think, was it Bass or was it Tai Wu?
I think it was me.
Yeah, not as much as Bass, but he's trying to, he's trying to take in this slight moment of normalcy.
Right. And she, you see her like kind of go rigid at the ferocity of your embrace, but she doesn't correct you. And she just says, oh, I'm so thank you. Okay. I'm so
And at the end of the hug, he looks straight, he stares daggers at Barry.
You see Barry kind of looking over at you, and he makes eye contact, but he kind of is drawn back to a conversation over there at the counselor's table.
Mm-hmm.
After a moment, though, you feel her kind of go rigid and just kind of push you back a little bit.
It's a familiar feeling for me with her.
Yeah, and she kind of pushes you back a little bit.
How are the kids? Are they back?
They're all the kids are fine. It's fine. It's they're okay. I'm sure they'll be happy to see you. They were very worried. We'd heard that you had fallen down, and we heard reports from some kids that came up that they saw you, and I'm so happy you're okay, honey.
Me
so
too.
happy you're okay, Zenith.
Thank you.
And at that, like, you look over her shoulder, and your two kids, the twins,
Mm-hmm.
they actually like look up and see and run over and actually give you a hug.
He hugs them both.
Mm-hmm.
Probably falls over a little bit.
Okay.
He says, I got a present for you guys.
What'd you get us?
He goes down his shirt and he pulls out some of the moss. I went down further than anybody, as far as I know. Got this. It was glowing. Saved me a couple times.
Did
You all right?
yes. I mean, it was scary. I thought we were gonna fall, and then
I saw you. That's why I was trying to go after you.
And then you see Noble. She kind of looks over your shoulder and sees Tai Wu, and you see her face kind of get a little scared. And you see her kind of move so she can't see Tai Wu.
You okay, Noble?
No, it's fine. So it's okay.
Yeah. Everything okay? That one, I thought he helped one of you, didn't he?
He saved me.
Something happened? You can talk to me, Noble. It's okay.
But he saved me. I don't want to say anything.
Noble had messaged that somebody took her glider, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. You take your glider. He did.
He saved it. He saved me. And then I got it back. I mean,
You got it back.
and she kind of points at Bass. He got me. He got it. He got it back.
Xanath will sort of give Bass a nod, and he'll give Tai Wu
But don't
evil eye.
please don't be. He did save me. So I didn't want to say anything. You told me not to be mean to people who.
You don't have to be mean to acknowledge that they did something wrong to you, Noble.
It didn't seem that much after I thought about it, after what he did.
I understand that. I'm grateful that he saved you.
Okay.
Koba, you all right?
Mm-hmm. It was he kind of points at Bass. It's like I don't even know what happened really. It was. He can fly. Do you know that?
He has an airship.
Well, no, he flew. Tell him, Bass, Mr. LaFontaine.
Well, you see, an educated and wizened man of experience such as myself, who is well acquainted with songs by the Foo Fighters, which is underrated as far as bands go. You shake your head.
You're my hero right now.
Your children like that song because it got them through their darkest hour. When you weren't there, you were busy falling. I calculated the trajectory of an incoming brick, and I stood on it, goofy-footed, which is my unnatural side, my undominant leg, leading in the front, and my leg I normally use to push off for momentum. Well, it was doing all the steering, and I took off through the air, traveling an estimated 25 miles per hour. That's mighty fast for standing on a brick. And I caught your child mid-fall, and swooshed and landed with a gallant leap, teleporting us into your living room using nothing but the powers of my mind.
He did. It was weird.
And then I kissed your wife. I said gazoon height.
You see you kind of get hurt for a second. Look at Ruthie.
He didn't kiss me, honey. No.
It was really just more like a peck. Yeah, 5-second Frencher.
I gave him a hug because he saved our son.
I
With her
understand.
tongue in my mouth. I'm sorry, I'm taking this too far.
And Zenith, like as you kind of like undoing all this, like you start to realize there's a presence over your shoulder, and it's the High Counselor. He's ready to move. High Counselor Womack.
Oh, that one.
Yeah, he's the regulator that the former regulator that came down with y'all, and like he's literally been like looming over your shoulder.
He'll turn around. And, woman, how's it going?
Listen, we're gonna need to get in here and do a little bit of a debriefing. Considering where you've been, we need to see what you know. So we're gonna need to go right now, please.
Where are we going to do this?
We need to go.
My family going?
Well, I assume they're gonna go back to their domicile, and we're gonna go to a behind closed door session because we need to have a conversation with the likes of y'all and figure out what's going on here.
All of us, even he's just a kid.
Well, everybody that went down and saw what we saw. Like I said, we need to have a debriefing. It's unprecedented what you did. You should be proud. You survived. Now let's get in here and get this done. Let's not make it too big of a fuss. And he kind of puts a hand on your shoulder.
Will I be furnished with a copy of the transcript of this conversation?
Of course. We'll bring in the special stenographer just for you.
Yeah, Sheila. She's best. She's what you need.
All right. So come on. Let's just, before you say anything. And he kind of,
what do you mean?
He does that thing of where he like squeezes your shoulder without anyone knowing what he's doing. And he kind of gives you like just let's go, son. Let's just move on.
Is it me and Bass or me and Bass and Taiwu and the whole party?
No, he's wanting like Bass, Taiwu, Boro, you, like everybody that went down there, met with the pirates and all that and came up. Yeah, he wants the whole gang, even the two regulators that were with him. They're kind of standing, flanking him.
Okay. He's gonna turn around to Ruthie. Ruth.
Yeah. Yeah, honey. And she, like her eyes are kind of staring at Womack right now.
We're gonna go talk. You could note the time and the day and the circumstance, honey.
Listen, we're just gonna have a talk. Let's go.
I'm sure it's gonna be totally fine. Totally normal. Just mark the time and the date and circumstance and the people who saw it happen, please.
I got you, honey. Well, there's plenty of witnesses out here.
It's something she said so many times.
Some incidents are best kept through the oral tradition, isn't it?
I like having a paper trail. It makes me feel more comfortable.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and he kind of like gives you like another firm kind of press to kind of push you back towards the back of the council chambers here.
Okay. You don't need to touch me, counselor.
Come on. Let's just get going.
Okay. Is there a chance to have like a recovery roll at any point in this?
Yeah, I mean, y'all are doing nothing right now.
Yeah.
So if y'all want to, if you've already taken your action, you want to take your 10-minute. I mean, we're just kind of sitting here talking.
Yeah.
So you can go and do your 10-minute, and if it stretches into an hour, but we'll probably skip to the next thing, next day or whatever here in just a bit. But yeah, he kind of presses you to the back of the council chambers, to the private offices back there. And the other two regulars kind of step in and partition the group of y'all and kind of herd you all back there. Zinnia, I don't know if you try to follow them, or do you just kind of let the scene play out?
Just gonna let it play out. She's not in the habit of being super nosy.
Mm-hmm.
If she hears, she hears.
Okay. Yeah, but you kind of hear, you hear Ruth call out to Zenith. I'll message you in a bit, okay, Zenith?
Okay, Ruthie.
Just to check on you.
Yeah.
She kind of stares at Womack as he kind of like looks and shares a look between you two, and then turns back towards the door.
He's going to say one more thing to her. Ruthie. Came back for them. And for you.
And you see her kind of contemplate that statement as the door is shut, as y'all are ushered back into the private rooms, where there are 4 chairs set up, in a very, very Spartan room. Just it looks like a table on the side, maybe a water pitcher, some glasses around it. But in the middle of the room, there's just 4 chairs lined up, and the 2 regulators kind of move up and flank either side of the chairs standing, and Womack stands and just kind of motions for the chairs.
Tai Wu is gonna, he's kind of gonna like fade the back. Is this like a very well lit room?
It's lit pretty well. But there is still a kind of a brighter light over the center, just to give the nice cliched interview room where the 4 chairs are lit a little brighter than the rest of the room, but it's not like totally dark otherwise. And Boro kind of runs over and just kind of plops down on a chair, and his feet are off the ground, kind of kicking. So he's just looking at y'all. Womack kind of clears his throat. Listen. Y'all just sit down. We can get the interview over with.
Let's sit down immediately.
Yeah. Tai Wu follows the behind Bass and stands behind him, but still at a distance.
Listen, kid, please sit down. I want to be able to see all of you. And he's like looking at Tai Wu. He's like, there's 4 of you. There's 4 chairs. It's not a game. It's not a trick. It's not a trap.
Reluctantly, Tai Wu presses his hood a little bit further down. He knows he can't hide any shadows out here, and slowly walks and sits.
That just leaves Womack staring at Zenith Dans.
Zenith Dan stares back at him.
Dans, are you gonna have a seat, please?
Yes. I'll sit down. He sits on like the very edge of his chair and like bounces his knee the whole time.
Right.
Quick question before you start, because Tai Wu is going to be inspecting everything. Is there only one door in and one door out, or is there multiple doors? Or is there any windows in this room?
You don't see any windows. It looks like a small, maybe 30 by 30 room. Y'all came in on one door. There are 2 doors, one that go kind of perpendicular to the one you came in. You basically came in the south, and there is a door to the west and the east. And then the back wall is where the table with the drinks and everything are, and you are kind of in the middle there, facing the table and the drinks. And Womack kind of goes over and fills up a glass of water and kind of looks around and he's like, motions. Does anybody, you want anything before we get started?
Tai Wu just shakes his head.
The dance. Been down pretty far, huh?
Yeah, say so.
You came back.
I did.
Now.
Dance don't fall. Dance don't fall. A little nervous. Counts wrong.
If Dans don't fall, what did Dans do?
Dance moves. Sir.
I've been hearing that damn joke for fucking 20 years.
Still fun.
Anyway. You have to understand, some of what you saw down there might be sensitive. Maybe too sensitive for some of the citizens of Aru to hear.
Which parts do you think those might be? Exactly.
Well. Did you run into anyone down there?
Yes.
Living?
Yes.
Pirates?
No.
Care to elaborate? What
Am
were
I
they
being
then?
legally compelled to?
Well, I mean, I am the High Counselor here. Not saying I can do anything, but I
Is
can
this
do
a court of law? I didn't take an oath when I sat down.
No.
Where's
no.
Sheila?
In order to encounter pirates, you would have to witness an act of piracy.
You don't think those guys that you got drunk were pirates?
I did get them drunk. Are we not all pirates in one way or another? Ladies
No.
and gentlemen, I implore you.
Take offense to that.
I'm not a pirate. I'm not a pirate, Councilwoman.
Hi, Dominic.
Taiwu slowly raises his hand.
Yes, son. What's up?
I have to go eat. I really have to go.
Could you repeat that, please? Your connection cut out.
That's not all that's going to cut out if you don't let this boy urinate.
I have to go pee.
All right. And he kind of motions to one of the regulators too, and he comes up to you and motions for the door that goes east.
I head in that direction. Is he? I'm going out by myself, or am I being led out?
Oh no, he's walking like right with you. Like as he motions and you walk forward, he's like right there with you, and he grabs the door and opens it. And it's just a narrow hallway. Looks like further down, about 50 feet maybe, it branches off left and right and continues on. But he stops well short of that. There's two doors, one on either side, and he kind of walks, to one of them and opens it up. And it's a restroom. It's a fairly nice one. Might be the nicest one you've ever been in. I mean, this is the High Counselor's chambers, so there's even a perfect mirror. It's no chips, no cracks, no scratches.
Is there any other entrance in and out? Is there a window?
No, I mean this is the interior of the tower. So yeah.
All right.
I mean, there's an air vent. All the air vents here are pretty sizable.
Okay. Taiwu is going to pull the air vent. I'm assuming is way above his head. Is what I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean, you just as you glance around the room, there's some stalls along one wall. There's looks like a laboratory over here, and one of the air vents is kind of above the stalls, like in the middle of the room. But yes, it's above your head. Ceiling's about 10 feet.
Okay. Is this vent made of metal?
Oh yeah. Pretty much all the walls, ceiling, floor, all of this is all mostly metal.
With as much, I guess with concern and quietly, he's going to extend his tendrils to the vent and pull to see if it opens.
Okay. Are you trying to do this with any kind of stealth or anything? Because you have a regulator in the bathroom with you, who's kind of
he's in the bathroom with you.
Yeah, he came in the the room. Sorry, he came in the room and stood just inside the door.
Okay.
And he's just kind of standing there.
Yeah. Then never mind all that. Then Taiwu's gonna go straight to the stall.
Okay.
Is it like a regular stall, like urinal just out in the open, or is it a stall that he could close?
I mean, it has a door. Yeah. I mean, it's a new age urinal. You can sit or stand at it.
So he walks to the urinal and he moves his robes to the side, and then he looks back over his shoulder.
I can't go with somebody watching me.
And you kind of hear him, and you hear his feet shuffle as it seems like he turned around. He's in the room, but he just kind of like, and hurry it up. Okay, it's just a piss. We all take them.
Not me. I sweat it out.
Okay. Then Taiwu, who doesn't really have to go, forces himself to go. So
Okay.
that'll be my action.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you you do your thing. We'll cut back to the room, and Womack is mostly interested in you, Zenith.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed your ex was pretty pleased to see you out there. It's quite a show.
I suppose. I'm very committed to my family, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It's very important to me that I stay around with them.
Notice you hadn't you got a job yet since leaving Regulators?
I'm currently appealing that decision. So I consider my unemployment to be temporary.
How would you like to make it untemporary?
You mean permanent?
Well, how'd you like your job back? And he gives you a little grin at that.
Why are you offering me this, sir?
Well, you went down further than anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can all agree something's going on down there.
Well,
You know, about a few weeks back, the hubbub.
I know a few things about that, sir. Says my friend here.
And he kind of turns and looks at Bass. What do you know?
Everything. I've seen many things.
What do you know about what happened 2 weeks ago? Salvage that was found.
In regards to the salvage that was found, I was not aware that there was any salvage found. Did the regulators find something?
We find stuff all the time.
Right.
Hmm.
I don't know. Now, this is obviously Bass's line, so we can figure out how we want to play this, because I'm willing to go in. Right now, Bass, his goal is to play as stupid as possible. Because right now, I don't know. There's lots of salvage find. If I'm asked a more direct question, I might give a slightly different answer.
Well, Womack kind of takes what Bass says and looks back at Zenith's like, I thought you said he knew everything.
Doesn't he? There was salvage a few weeks ago.
Yep. It's kept quiet for a reason.
What reason's that, sir?
Because we're not quite sure what we found, and we can't just let anyone know. But
Yes.
we need some people to check it out. It's very dangerous, and it's going to require going down, seeing what you can see, reporting back. So, how quickly you want to get back to your family there, Dans? Quickly you want to have your job back, have your respect back.
I don't know, sir.
Well, that's up to you.
We have a quick sidebar, sir.
All right. He kind of walks over just kind of to the corner of the room away from as about this time as Taiwu comes back and Boro's like, I gotta go, you know, and so the same regulator leads Boro back to the restroom as Taiwu sits down, and you see Zenith go into the corner with Womack.
Sir? I understand It's our job. We find things and we don't necessarily know what they are. I saw a lot of stuff down there. I don't necessarily know what all of it was.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you stage the salvage twice?
Do you have any kind of insight or perception?
I'm trained in perception.
Okay, give me a perception check then.
Okay.
This is going to be level 5.
Okay.
Starting out.
He's gonna put some effort into it. Let me intellect.
Yep.
Okay. I rolled a nat 20.
Ooh.
For real. It did.
Holy shit.
It happened.
Okay. You're pretty sure not only do you clearly see the very edges of his eyes just go wide at that mention. You see his hand almost reflexively go to his hip where his sidearm is, but he stops it and he kind of like looks around and leans in really close.
Zenith leans in close too. Zenith hasn't had a shower in like 4 days.
Yeah, and he's trying not to smell that, but
Yeah, he can't not. He's still got a shirt full of moss.
I'm not sure where you heard that information, but it is paramount to the security and the continuity of the city of Aru that information stays between us. I can make things happen for you, Zenith, if you keep that promise.
Then I need to know why.
You'll know enough. Will you take the mission?
Yes. But let you know if anything happens to me, if anything happens to my family, if anything happens to these people I am with, I have taken measures. This information will go public if I let it, or if I am not here to let it happen. That didn't make sense. But you know what I mean. Emma's very tired.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Blackmailing me.
No, I'm informing you of the truth.
Mm. We'll come back to this. Don't you worry about that, Dans. But you keep this under your hat. You'll go places. Now, who do you want on your crew?
I want Bass, and anybody Bass thinks should be on.
Ruth.
And Barry.
Barry's a high counselor. He can't leave at this time.
Okay, fine.
And I'm pretty sure you don't want to take your ex-wife on a dangerous mission like this. You're going to need people who are skilled, people who know how to use tech, preferably people that can move around. I'm not sure how far down it goes, but we do have some information. So, get your crew and come back here in 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Speed is of the utmost importance. I have something we need to show you.
Okay.
And with that, he just kind of backs away, moves back over to the table, and he kind of goes and gets his drink back, but he's like, Zenith, he's just like staring boreholes right through you.
And Zenith is staring back too. This is the most confident he's ever been because it's a conspiracy that's actually happening.
So, Zenith, Boro is just now coming back, and he's arguing about wanting to go home. defeat his kid sister. But who would you like to gather up?
Tai Wu has returned from the bathroom as well.
Oh yeah, you're already back. Mm-hmm. Okay, so at this point, they kind of open the doors and let Boro. He kind of scampers off and runs off. Zinnia, you see in the back room, a set of doors opens up and one of the kids leaves, and you can see some other people milling about back there. Zenith, you can look at and you can see Ruth. She's over talking to Barry, but she kind of sees you and gives you a nod of just like, okay, you're okay, you know, and kind of goes back to talking to him.
Zenith goes past. I said, I accept it. I need to know what it is we found that day. I'd be honored if you could come with me and decide who else should go with us.
I, Basil LaFontaine, will accompany you on this journey. We must apologize. My eyes are falling apart under these sunglasses. I can barely keep them open. They're swollen shut right now. I can't. It's so it's one of those things. I was peeling them open to try to check. Is Zinnia she her? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Because I wanted to say we should acquire Zinnia, she who flies, and has master over gravity, Tai Wu, the fallen, and Boro, his young apprentice. They're children of exceptional ability. Living in correctional facilities. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, you see Boro kind of scampering off through the crowd. Looks like he's heading to go fly away right now.
Yeah. I'm willing to let him run. I don't have to pay him if he dips out.
Tai Wu's concerned, but more disappointed, but he stays.
Wherever you go, I go, Bass.
Baz has never been more proud in his life. Tai Wu, we're in need of your exceptional talents, and your skill, and most of all, your pure heart. Zenith, we shall join you, but first we must seek out Zinnia, she who flies.
Zinnia.
You know,
I
the
met her.
beautiful person. We're all in love.
She gave me the glider I was going to use to save my kids before you guys saved my kids and I fell. It wasn't her fault. I don't think. I think it was all me. She might have tampered with it, but I don't really think so.
It's not her style.
Yeah, and y'all, as y'all are conversating here, you look out over the crowd, and you can see across the way. You can see Zinnia. Zinnia, what are you doing here? Just hanging out in the as council chambers here is just full of like regulators and everybody who like has like any kind of like ship or blimp or anything that has gone down. Some people have come back. Some people are getting ready to go back to look for others. There's multiple rescue efforts. They've actually been able to save most of the people that have fallen. There's still about 5 to 8. They're not really sure exactly on the count, but they think there's about 5 to 8 people that are still missing. And so there's still a lot of hubbub going on around here, right?
Yeah, I think it's mostly like small talk, or just being like, "Hey, what's going on? Need any assist immediately right now that I can do?" Probably keeping an eye out for that regulator that she knows has a vendetta against her, just so that she knows to fade into the crowd if she has to.
Yeah, you haven't seen that particular regulator, but yeah, you're hanging out there. You might have looked across and seen the doors open and Bass come out with Zenith. They're safe, and you notice just coming over on the one of the zip lines, very awkwardly, a very small, bookish man, and you just saw him not too long ago. But he's wearing a little lab coat, and he has a small messenger bag kind of strung across, just kind of like a little wireframe glasses and a balding head. He's not even 5 feet tall, but he comes across and lands and and he just starts waddling towards the council chamber, just looking like someone who is not used to this isn't really that open of a space, and he looks like he's being overwhelmed and just the amount of people. But he definitely looks like he's looking for something. But you just picked a package up from this guy, 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And here he is, just looking around, and he's trying to motion to certain people to get their attention. But looks like he's looking around, talking to stuff, and so you see that. And Bass and Zenith. This is when you are having your conversation, you look over and you see Zinnia across the room.
Zenith will walk straight up to her and point at her.
Oh no, no pointing. Okay, keep doing your thing.
Weren't you the one that was falling? Yeah, you were the one that was falling. When everything happened.
Yes. Thank you for attempting to save my life. It is.
Well, you're welcome. I mean, it's the least I could do.
It meant a lot. I appreciate it.
Cool, I'm glad. And I think she takes one half a step back to keep because I think just a little too much up in the face right now. That's there's a lot, just odor, olfactory, and visually there's a lot going on. And also she doesn't say anything or look disgusted. She's just all right, we just need a half step back.
Yes. Well, thank you.
So what's up?
This is maybe you should talk to this is my friend Bass, I think.
Hello.
I think you should talk to.
Yeah, you were with the kid.
I occasionally am an invited guest to the orphanage
when all the flying, dangerous.
Yes.
I'm gonna eat you things came down.
To answer Emma in chat, I don't know who it was. It might have been me. It might have been Baz. Do not point. Yes, Taiwu the Fallen is an associate of mine, an adventurer extraordinaire, a dubbed treasure hunter, professional, rising through the ranks. That is who you saw me with, and we are in need of your exceptional talents and abilities, for we are being sent by High Counselor Womack into the depths.
Just to go down there?
I believe there's an investigation. There was a salvage, and they believe that, we believe that your skills will be essential in traveling there safely, seeing how you know... That's a technical term.
I control gravity and hover and all that stuff?
Well, no need to be scientific. I'm just a humble storyteller. Yes. And for the service of their blessed Aru. Now I'm a blood-sucking politician. When did that happen? I must have thrown up my morals earlier.
Yeah. It's then that Randy Falcon comes up and slaps you on the back. Baz is like, we all become politicians eventually.
I hold his hand lovingly, and I continue the.
He pulls it back and goes off into the crowd and looks for someone else, looking back at you like,
"You will be mine." Oh yes, you will be mine.
Through all of the fuss, Taiwu has been looking around, looking for opportunity more than anything else to see if anybody's carrying any purses that's kind of low slung or anything that he could snatch and grab. And for the first time, he looks over at Zinnia and sees her for the first time. Yeah, he walks over slowly.
Yeah, she's coming with us. You're pretty.
And Taiwu's robes are pretty long. They pretty much almost drag. And what you don't see under is he's extending those tendrils to the ground, and very discreetly he's pushing himself off the ground to make himself a little bit bigger, a little bit taller.
Yeah,
he looks.
I mean, I wish I was a little bit taller.
Yeah,
I wish I was a baller.
If I had a girl, if I did, I would call her.
He looks.
She had a rabbit hat and a 6'4".
That was stupid. He looks Zinnia dead in the eyes, absolutely uncomfortably close.
Yes, you will do. So pretty.
And then kind of
Thanks.
falls back down into his normal size again.
Thanks, kid. Yeah, so this whole thing, is it like a paid thing, or is it like a volunteer thing, or what's going on there? Because,
I
It's
forgot to ask on that. I'm sorry.
it's actually conscription. You see, the High Counselor have been, well, pulling us out of our beds and forcing us down, and we figured you were the right person for this particular assignment for our blessed Aru. For many hands lighten the load. And as I say this with a wink, and I'm going to try to speak in a sort of coded message. Now, to sort of explain my intentions. If this was Dungeons and Dragons, this would be called something like Thieves' Cant. What is...
So you want to speak in a way where you can relay a message that anyone who is overhearing you wouldn't be able to tell.
Exactly. And
Okay.
what is Zinnia's core function? What was her character sentences again?
she's a jovial nano. So she has related to polite social interactions.
Okay.
And you also have a thing about solving puzzles, which I would say ciphers and code breaking is part of that. So
I'm trying to translate a message in code that down below will be nano heaven. And if it's not, drinks are on me for the next 2 or 3 years. Because this is dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I think as you say that, she'll nod. All right, yeah. Sounds like fun.
Everybody in this little group here, y'all all just kind of give me a perception check.
I am trained in those.
I am also trained in that.
Okay. This is just going to be a level 3 task.
Nope.
Well,
that's a
I
three.
rolled a nat 1, so give me my intrusion as my eyeballs fall out.
I rolled a 7.
Ooh, where's my intrusion deck? That's what I forgot. I knew I was like, you didn't get something ready, even though I was way too ready.
Yeah, I don't have any more experience points. I've been spending them to cheat this whole time.
Okay. Interaction.
I was due.
What did Emma? What did?
I rolled a 12. I'm all good.
So you see. You kind of look over Zinnia's shoulder, and you see a small, round, kind of bookish he looks like he's like a scientist or something like that. But he's got a messenger bag kind of slung over his shoulder. But you can see him kind of like, it looks like he's rehearsing something. But he's like standing about 10 feet behind Zinnia, looking at Zinnia, and he's like,
Zenith will go full regulator for a second. He'll roll around, get up in his face and say, "What are you up to, citizen?"
And he's like mid, like, "Hello, I'm just, oh God," and just like totally like loses it. Okay, here's the thing, Bass. As you are sitting here chatting with Zinnia and everything, one of your kids at your name,
The orphans?
one of the orphans at the name thing, comes up to you and is just like bawling her eyes out. And in fact, it is Petronella.
Not little Petronella.
She is upset because her friend, and one of her friends there, you can give her a name as well. She was one of the ones that they still haven't found yet. And she's like been trying to ask everyone, and she's just like finally found you, and just like and just like, they haven't found her. They haven't found Rosie. Where's she at? They won't tell me where she is. She was playing when the wind came and it took her away. And she had her shoot. She had her emergency shoot. I know she did. There's no way she's dead. And she's just like, looks like she's like literally, this is a cycle of things that she's been telling like so many adults in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, she's just kind of losing it.
And talking to me is like talking to the Incredible Oz. I'm probably going to be like, you had a heart in your chest all along. It's either that or I sing the song Maybe from Annie, the musical. I know, take her. Yeah, Emma. This is the episode you cry.
No.
It was either that or Baby Mine from Dumbo. I've got
Oh, that's the worst one.
Baby Mine, shut your eyes.
God, that will make me cry.
I take her little head, I place it on my shoulder. Baby Mine, shut your... So Rosie's gone missing?
She hasn't come back. They haven't found her. I don't know where she went. And she's just like, and you can see some of the counselor, like some of the regulators around here, and Zenith knows the ones. They don't care about the orphans or the young scrappers and all that. And it looks like
they're the ones that need the regulating most.
Whoa! Hey,
who regulates?
God bless the outcasts.
No, it's the regulators who don't care. Those are the ones that need the regulating most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I get down and I look at Petronella's eyes. So, I want to go all in on this shenanigan. I want this to be really dramatic. I want to take this intrusion to the 18th level.
Okay.
Petronella, by my life or death, I shall descend below, find Rosie, and return her to you, or die in the attempt.
You will?
It is my duty as an Arcus of Aru.
And she like throws her hands around your neck and gives you a huge hug, and it's just tears running unchecked, except these are of joy. And for the first time in a while, her rosy cheeks kind of lighten up a little bit, and they, her puffy eyes are a little bit happier. And she's like, "I promise I'll wait right here. They said I could stay here until they found her. Will you please come back soon? Please, Mr.
Soon as I can."
Well, here, and she like holds out a little. It's like a scrap of like fabric that has been folded into like a doll shape. And she's like, "She always liked playing with my doll. Please take it to her if you find her."
And I want you to hold on to this, and I reach on my ring finger. It used to be my wedding ring that I still wear because, it makes people curious. I would pull it off, and it would probably fit on her thumb. And I place it on her, and it has a rune that says hope. And I put my hope ring right there on her thumb, and I say, hold on to that until I return. And you will know that Boss LeFontaine is searching for your friend Rosie. And should we not return, hold on to hope that one day we might. I And with that, I'm going to march to my death, Pruitt. Thanks. No.
Do what I can. I want to make sure everybody's nice and all in on this. All right. So you see kind of Baz diffuse that situation as it looked like a few of the counselors were getting a little impatient at a child, kind of losing it right in the middle of this. But everybody kind of softens a bit at that, and everybody gets back to work. But Zenith, you startled this poor scientist. He was, you're not, like I said, looks like he was rehearsing an intro or a whatever. And as you stumble upon him, he's like, "Oh, yes, sir. Can I help you?"
I just noticed we were talking about some sensitive information here, and
I have some sensitive information I needed to discuss, but we can't do it here. But
and Zenith, you notice this whole time, like he's kind of positioned himself where he's talking to you, but he's looking at Zinnia.
Zenith will just give you one of those. What is this, Zenith? What? What's going on? What is this?
Are you asking if it's Denia?
Oh, I was like, oh wait, I think she's frozen again.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Sorry. Yeah, she's gonna turn and be like, "Oh, it's you! I literally saw you like 33 minutes ago. What's going on?"
Well, I had some things I needed to tell you, and he kind of, you see him looking over at the council members at this. He's like, we needed to discuss it with the higher ups. Some profound findings.
Why me? I'm like, I just deliver the packages. I mean, this was a weird one today, but
Well, I mean, you technically deliver the same package each time. It's kind of hard to explain. It sounds a little weird.
It's literally the same thing.
Well, we're needing to triangulate with certain things, so that's I really need to tell. If you could grant me an audience with one of the high counselors, I will tell you everything, I promise. But this is, I'm not quite sure what it means, but you might be a key.
And he kind of like actually says that with some confidence.
Oh, yeah, it's just gonna be like, well, it seems like today's the day of weird favor asking. All right, gonna turn to Bash for a sec. I'll be with you going on that crew. I guess I'm just gonna deal with this first.
Well, Zinnia's like, I guess, the one person I don't have any, like, verbal conundrums over. It's just kind of like, well, yep, there you go. Yep, you deal with that.
Yeah. All right, be right back. And just kind of look over. Oh wait, do you
She'll be right
have
back.
like a name?
I'm Professor Boggs. I'm a professor of
The Professor Boggs?
you've heard of me.
No, I have not.
Oh,
Sorry, I knew that would mess with him up.
I'm a professor of gravimetrics and spatial displacement phenomenon.
Pro, while this conversation is going on, is Professor Boggs like all in on his conversation? Is he like really in like he's just focused on who he's talking to?
Yeah, he's like hands ringing, like he's either looking at Zinnia or like the High Counselor's table where the 5 counselors are currently kind of discussing with the head of the Regulators and the rescue teams.
And his big bag of books is a satchel that's on his side. Like how is it slung? Is it like a briefcase? Is it like an over the shoulder bag that's sitting on his hip?
Yeah, it's like an over the shoulder. Yeah, it's an over the shoulder kind of messenger bag. It's got a flap on it with a couple of clasps.
Taiwu smells an opportunity, and he is going to position himself very indiscriminately behind him.
Okay. And yeah, so you start to move into position there, and it's about this time that it's been a good 10-15 minutes, and Womack, you see him kind of break away from a conversation, Zenith, and he catches your eye, and he's like makes a motion towards the back room, and he kind of walks about half the distance to it and turns and looks back to make sure you're following.
Zenith, I think our time's up. Are we? Do we have a team?
Yes.
Team? What? Are we part of a team now?
Yes,
It's
Professor
like
Boggs. You're our professor.
Oh,
A 3-hour tour.
I know. Shit, yeah, I do have.
We're on the team.
I was looking for glasses this whole time.
Yes.
I don't think I should. I've never even really left my lab that much before today. I'm feeling lightheaded, actually.
During this exchange, Tai Wu, using stealth as a plus, what would do clasped?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like one of them is one of the two sides is clasped, but the other side you can kind of see in through the back where you are. You can like see that there's folders and other things, a couple of bits that are flashing, glowing, like little bits of tech that are somewhere in there.
The tech is exactly what Taiwu would focus on. So it is not under the flap, right?
Well, you can just kind of see over the hump of the flap, right? Like into the bag.
Right.
You can just kind of like see into it. Maybe it's not zipped up, right? So it's still open. Okay. But,
Taiwu would use his tendrils as sneakily as he can to go into the bag and see if he can clasp it and pull it through the hole.
All right. So you're going to just kind of try to grab a random piece of tech in there. All righty.
Yes.
This is going to be a This is going to be a level 4 test.
Okay.
Of your abilities. Actually, sorry. Since you're trying to do it sneakily, level 5.
Okay.
So, how would you like to proceed, sir?
I would like to put one level of effort
into
it as well.
Trying to steal from the old professor, eh? Well,
it's not personal. It's I need things.
Trying to steal from this professor will bog you down. Oh, don't listen to me.
No, I'm ready to give my speech to convince the professor. Are you ready for it? Where can you find pleasure? Search the world for treasure. Learn cipher technology. Where can you begin to make your dreams all come true? On the land or on the sea? Where? In the Navy. You can fall into the hole in the Navy.
Yeah.
With the Regulators patrol in the Navy. In the Navy.
We want you.
We want you. We want you for it. Zenith knows the song. That's how they got him all those years ago. And, like, Yeah.
And we have Kiana back now.
All right, so okay, so we went. It was a 5. The level effort knocks it down to a 4. Okay, so I got to beat a 12. It's an 18.
Okay, yeah. So the professor, because this is all when this is happening, the professor's like, "Wait, I'm in the thing too," and he totally does not feel it. As you kind of like, you probably should have noticed, but he maybe was a little distracted. But you pull a piece of technology out. It's like some kind of small little box. It's got a few lights and a few buttons on it. But yeah, you kind of pop it right out.
And then he's gonna, kind of just fade to the back as if he wasn't there.
Okay. All right. And so he gets all excited about being included in the party. Let's go. Well, I mean, if he gets me an audience
To share my research, it's if you did say you were going below, right? I thought that
going down.
I heard that. It might be important. So please just let me say my piece to them. And don't be mad.
Oh, we don't get angry. We used to get angry, but we had that part of us surgically removed.
I don't know if you're. I'm not really good with people, so I don't know if you're
And
joking.
maybe we should get going and get that audience for you, Beth. And I think there's this whole someone looks like they want you. Tell them that I'll be there in a second.
Okay. Well, Womack is a high counselor. Just so
Oh,
you
he
know.
is.
Yeah, and he's back there like he kind of yelled out, "Zenith, it's time."
Oh, wait, actually, you should come with us right now, Professor.
Come along, Bugs.
Oh,
Yes, I'll make a man out of you. Sorry. No, Emma, don't judge.
All right. So yeah, you kind of brought Boggs up in your wake as you're all head towards the back towards the council room. And Taiwu, I know you said you were hanging towards the bag, but you follow him in there again, right? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So the 5 of you, including Boggs, go back into this room, and when you come back in here, now there is a kind of a rectangular table, 15 by 5, with chairs around it, and on the table itself is something that is about 2.5 feet long. It's covered up right now with a white cloth, but it's something long and cylindrical, or it has an angle to it. You're not really sure what it is, but in there you see not only do you see Womack, the High Counselor. Bass, you see Sweet Tina, which is your personal tattoo artist who got recently elected to the council. She's in there, as well as and Zinnia, you would recognize the third council member in here, which is Leah, the textiles mercantiles guru. So these 3 high counselors are in here, all standing kind of at the back where the table was that had the water, but it's now been kind of pulled out and added to. And on either, they're flanked by regulators. Looks like the new head of the regulators is in here too. He's kind of sitting back, and off to the side are a couple of white coats, a couple scientists, and they're sitting there, and and as y'all all walk in, Womack's like, "All right, so this is your team, huh?" Kind of looks down at Boggs and is like, "What the hell are you doing in here? Who let him in?"
The team captain.
You're shitting me, LaFontaine.
No, I don't defecate. I sweat it out.
He's just joking. Actually, Professor Box here has some very important information that may be pertinent to whatever we're doing down below. So I thought, well, clearly he has something very important to tell, and thought it'd be appropriate for him to tell it to you himself.
Let me guess, it has to do with that damn signal that you say that you found that no one else can detect.
Well, if you were to scan Miss Zydia while she is manipulating her abilities, you will notice that there is a certain gravimetric signature. We have detected it far below. Something similar. Trust me, me and another doctor, we have been running tests for the last few months. Miss Zinnia can attest. And he kind of like,
Well, I wasn't aware there were tests. I just thought there were deliveries, but good to know.
well, this is he at that he kind of blushes. Like they weren't necessarily scanning you per se, but it does help that you are the same energy source as what we were scanning below, because it gave us a good baseline for I'm sorry, but this is integral to the success and the survival of Aru. I believe it in my heart. You have to trust me, Zinnia. We noticed a signal, but it was distorted. And one day we noticed that your interactions while we were scanning managed to clarify the signal. And so we started using you in a delivery to triangulate and record the signal for a while. But we know without a shadow of a doubt, there is a massive, it's some kind of gravimetric anomaly that is down there. Some massive gravity well.
Taru blurts out, there is nothing down there but the fallen god.
Well, okay, I apologize. I might have used the wrong tense there. There was a gravity well. 5 minutes after the downdraft earlier, it stopped. It's gone. We've been seeing this signal for months. We don't really know what it is, but you're of a similar type. Like whether it's just your disturbances or what, we're not sure. But if you were to take, and he kind of reaches in to his bag and he's like, oh no, I think I left it. Oh, it's one of a kind. I don't know what I'm going to do now. I have a scanner. I have to go back to my lab. I think I know I put it maybe on the zip line. Oh God, if it's fallen.
Is it dangerous?
Is what?
What you have lost?
It's just a scanner, but it's something that we needed to be able to try to track the after images of the wave itself. But I'm going to have to find it. It'll take months to build another one. I don't know what I'm doing.
Taru looks directly to Bass. Is this important to us, sir?
Yes, Taiwu. This is very important to us. We need Professor Boggs to be steady and level. Otherwise, he's going to botch his chance with you-know-who.
Taru reluctantly goes into his pockets and pulls out the device.
Oh, you found it. Oh, thank you, son. Oh, I thought I had lost it forever. And he like thanks you and like gives you a little hug. And so Zinnia, if you were to take this would help. You could track the reverberations in time space, because the gravity well is so massive that it's still echoing even though it's gone, and you can follow that down and at least get a general idea of where it was. You don't believe me.
I'm not saying I don't believe you. I'm just gonna look to the counselors. So we're going down to investigate, yeah? That's the whole situation here? All right. Well, I mean, if we're investigating, rather than, have the professor here have his claims unsubstantiated, we can go down and check to make sure that either it's true or it's false. I'm sure it would be better on everyone's time that way.
It would be. I think it is of the utmost importance. I cannot impress that upon you. I wanted to tell you before, but my benefactor, the gentleman who set up all of the transactions, he wanted complete silence and anonymity because nobody believed us anyway, so what did it matter? But after what has occurred, I have to say something. You understand, right? I'm just a scientist. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I didn't want to scan you. I'm sorry.
Apology accepted. It's gonna look back at the counselors.
Are y'all done? and Boggs is like, and just kind of gets quiet and kind of scoots to the back of the room. All right. What I'm about to show you, I'm doing so against my better judgment, but I was overruled because it seems there's a bigger mystery here than we know. So this is what we found 2 weeks ago. Kind of gives Zenith a look.
Zenith flinches a little bit and says nothing.
And he pulls the sheet back. And what you see on the table is what can only be described as a mechanized appendage, much like a very bulky, like Iron Man suit arm, severed at the shoulder. It is laying on the table, palm down. The metal itself is, and Taiwu, you would just look at this and know this is like the finest, purest metal. Like you don't even have to reach out with your senses to feel it like singing to you, the purity of it. But this looks of a construction that y'all have not seen. Maybe Bass has seen on the outside. But here in this land of recycled scrap and just detritus that is just reused, you have not seen anything like this, any of you ever. It's smooth, it's articulated plating of like a blue and white paint job. On the wrist is a display that is dark. But along the bottom are a couple of rows of buttons with symbols that you don't quite understand. The hand itself has 5 fingers with like segmented fingers. But that is what you see. It looks like maybe there are a space on the forearm area for like something to open up, like maybe big enough for some kind of tools. But that is what you see on the table itself.
Tai Wu is compelled to walk towards it in an attempt to touch it, not asking permission like a child that sees a brand new toy in a toy store window.
Mm-hmm. Taiwu, you would notice a couple of the lab coats off to the side. They kind of step forward to make an objection, but Womack, he stops them and he kind of narrows his eyes at you, but he stops them and just looks at you, but does not make a motion or anything towards you.
That would not make Taiwu stop, but he would recognize the look.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying he's stopping the scientist from stopping you and allowing you to continue, but he's got his eye on you.
Taiwu is going to reach out if he is in arm's length, not enough to reveal his own tendrils, but his own hand. He has to touch this to see it is what his body is tingling about.
Yeah, you reach out to touch kind of the shoulder, like the little pauldron of it, and there are some nicks, but they're very small. The metal itself is so smooth. You have never felt something this. I mean, it's just like pure glass. Like this has obviously been worked and used. It is not like brand new, but it is manufactured in a way that like I said, none of y'all have ever seen before. It's attention to detail. It's obvious. Like you can just look at this and tell that you would have amazing mobility in it. I mean, y'all have seen like mechanical like arms, and they're clunky, they're bulky. This, like literally, it's like almost like a suit of armor that you're in. But yeah, just touching it, that's what you kind of feel is like this is quality like hasn't been seen in a very long time, while still only looking a little old.
Taiwu looked directly back at Boss.
This is special. This is godlike.
Pruitt, I rolled a 19 to see if I have any sort of recollection on anything like this, even if it's way back and it's just a fragment of a memory, an echo.
Mm-hmm.
Does that have any sort of effect?
I
don't want to know what it is. I just kind of want this little
I would just say that you probably have seen old tech manuals of a bygone era that maybe a page survived, and you saw like articulated arms and armaments like this, but they're from an age 2,000 years ago.
I don't even think I saw it. I think I heard a story about a manual.
Yeah, a story about a manual of a suit of armor that could come alive around you, protect you, make you powerful. But that like looking at this, you're like, it could be for sure.
Yeah, I think this is some sort of god metal.
Could it be a gift from the fallen god?
I think so.
What a delight that would be. We must go. We must go immediately.
And Taiwu was going to move towards towards Boss and grab his hand, excited.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like everybody's just like looking at all of y'all and looking at this like.
Does Zenith remember recovering this?
You don't, like I said, you don't remember recovering this specifically.
Does it look like something that's out of the ordinary to recover?
If only in that you've never seen anything that was this new, that was this like perfect, as far as just like manufacturing on a level that, like I said, you've only seen just pieces of scrap come up, not like a full arm. And that's the weird thing is it's a full arm that is cut off smoothly, laying flat down. But the thing that you would notice is the evidence number that is attached to it. Mm-hmm. And that is where like you look at it, you're like, you remember writing that up. And that is the piece of evidence that you remember your evidence guy giving to you that was logged 2 weeks before that. And it's like literally the same number.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like, but the counselors and everybody, they're all just kind of waiting. Like nobody's stopping Taiwu getting near it. And it seems like they're waiting for you to have a look, basically.
I'm going to go up to it. I'm going to use my applied observation and spend a round just really examining it.
Okay.
Taiwu is still excited like a child, and he is pulling Boss towards the
I'm allowing myself to be pulled. I made him give up his new toy. It's like a bad father over here.
Yeah, and you can see Boggs back there, like leaning around. His eyes are just like huge in his Coke bottle like spectacles, as he's just kind of like, oh. And now I'm seeing like a 5 foot tall like John C. Riley. Like if you mix John C. Riley and Danny DeVito, and like together, just the hair and the general eyes and face, but the size and shape of Danny DeVito. Yeah, that's what Boggs looks like. Yeah. And he's just kind of back there like wide-eyed, like, oh. But Womack is kind of giving him a bit of the stink eye. It looks like he doesn't really want him to be there. Well, first off, Zenith, you were gonna do an applied observation check on this?
It's not a check. It's a thing that I do so that when I do make a check, it is one step easier.
Gotcha.
I'm just gonna give it the old stare.
Okay, you kind of do you just look at it, or do you like pick it up, move it around?
I'm gonna pick it up and look it around. Look around at it. If
as you start to pick it up, this is where like everybody kind of like you almost hear everyone in the room kind of breathe in and hold their breath for a split second as you're kind of picking it up. And that's when you notice like an arm is still in the sleeve of the piece.
Oh, there's
literally still a flesh arm, but as you kind of lift up, you can see that the skin and everything has been like cauterized smooth, as if to say like you can literally see a cross section at the shoulder of a person's shoulder blade, like shoulder joint and everything, but it's like cut smooth and just cauterized, but there's no burns, there's no blood. It's almost just like a perfect like still image of a cross section of a shoulder.
Zenith will put it down for a second and sort of step away. Whoa.
Taiwu,
stare at me, Mike.
Taiwu, who has already been, he's damaged already enough. So seeing that type of carnage isn't anything to him. So he's still intrigued with the fact that this could be something godlike and it's beautiful. He's gonna have this feeling. So he, without hesitation, if it's still if it's still in Zenith Dan's arms, he's gonna try to get towards the meaty part where the flesh is at, and try and like pull it out, because in his head he wants to try on the arm. This is awesome, and this chunk of meat's in the way, so he's gonna start yanking at the fleshy bit.
Way to lose your arm.
Yeah. So you go up as Zenith Dan's. It sounds like Zenith was putting it down, and so it looks like Taiwu is going to kind of pick it up. Now, Zenith, are you still wearing your flight suit?
Yes, he never took off the flight suit.
Okay. Taiwu walks up and starts to pull the arm kind of out of this armored aperture arm, and the thing you notice immediately is the sleeve of whatever this person was wearing. It looks like they were wearing like a blue jumpsuit, and it looks very familiar. And Taiwu starts to pull the arm, and it easily starts to slide out. And he pulls the arm out, and it's just like a blue jumpsuit made of a very fine weave material. The seams on it are almost indistinguishable. It looks like it was almost like grafted onto this person. It's so well suited to them, but it just stops at the shoulder. And as he pulls out the arm, you notice at the top of the shoulder, there's some kind of iconography that you can see. It's a triangular shaped patch. And if you'll look at the screen on the Twitch channel, you will see a patch that is at the top of the shoulder pulled out. And so on the screen, you can clearly see. Everybody see that? on the Twitch channel.
I'll put it here as well if you want to see it.
And so that is residing at the top of the sleeve of this jumpsuit. But you pull it out, and the jumpsuit goes all the way down to the hand. At the wrist, there's looks like there's some kind of band of either electrical ports or something. You're not really sure, but it goes into a full glove. And now the flesh arm, and it's a 5 fingers, looks like a human arm, is separated from the mechanical prosthesis.
Yeah, Tyru totally dismisses the arm. He's careless, and he immediately puts his own arm in it.
Boss, look.
Okay, so
if it's big and bulky, he's going to use his tendrils to kind of like fill the space.
Okay. All right. So this kid puts on like a full adult size aperture arm. So like Taiwo, you feel your arm kind of go down and your wrists go a little bit past the elbow, right? Inside. That's how like kind of short your hand is compared to the full size. And you just kind of like move it around. I mean, here's the thing that you notice immediately. It is remarkably light. Like when you picked it up, once you pulled the arm out, like 60% of the weight of the thing disappeared. And like you're holding this full arm, like it's not that heavy. It's maybe like 3 pounds total as you're like, and you can like move it around. Like you can kind of move the fingers with your tendrils. It's going to take a while if you want to actually like try to, but it's just kind of, it's, even powered, like with no power running through it. You can move around.
Pruitt, I'm going to do something that might be a little tasteless, and we'll see how this goes. I want to remove the clothing from the severed arm and check it for any distinguishing marks or tattoos.
Okay.
It may or may not be on there, but if you find a part of a body in the ocean or something like that, my criminal investigation senses kick in.
All right. So you try to. So you're going to try to remove the sleeve.
Flight suit. Yep.
Okay. How do you try to do that?
What material is it made out of?
You don't know. It is. I will say this: what Zenith will notice is the flight suit that he is wearing looks of a similar make, but what Zenith is wearing, you can see where maybe patches were, but they've all been eroded away through time itself. There's so much grime on his suit that it's disgusting. But even when you look at just like kind of a crevice, like it has the same kind of like almost invisible hemlines. You can't really tell the color of Zenith's suit anymore. It could be the same kind of like bright blue that this suit is, but you're not sure. It's very Vault 101 blue kind of.
Okay, yeah.
The color.
I'm gonna try to. I'm essentially just gonna try to pantyhose it off. Pantyhose it.
Okay. You try to initially pull it off the skin, and
that was a test to see if you knew how to remove pantyhose, Pruitt. No, I'm just kidding.
No. You mean where you roll it up from the end? My grandmother used to make me take hers off. No, that's not true.
Help me shave my legs, Prue.
Shave my legs.
Anyway, no, Mama, leave me alone. So yeah, you try to like roll it up from the shoulder, and you notice that it is like fused to the skin where the severing took place, right? And you're not really sure, like you can't even like when you even touch the end there, like it's almost like it's and why am I going blank on this term?
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's almost as if it's fused in, it's adhesive, like
it's got just like a layer like sealed over.
I'm gonna pull out my small electro scalpel though and see if I can work it up and separate it.
Okay.
The same as you would separate. This. I'm trying to get to the subcutaneous tissue, Prue. I'm trying to get.
I know what you're talking about.
I want to get to that fascia.
So you give me a. This is going to be. I'll let you use either intellect or speed if it's more of just like knowing where it is versus like the manual dexterity to find it perfectly.
I think this sort of thing is 100% dexterity based off of every surgeon I've talked to that says, you might be a good student, but if you don't have these... It's old Dr. Ranawat from the Hospital for Special Surgery. All right, so I'm going to apply some effort. Oh man, I'm nowhere near as good at this stuff as I am at my smart stuff. That's okay, though. And then... I'm going to roll, because that's what you do in this game, apparently. And based on the law of numbers, I'm probably not going to roll well. It's a 1. Sweet Tina's not looking, is she? No.
Okay, hang on. Ooh, your scalpel snaps as you try to like cut through this. Whatever, it's almost like a clear resin, which is the word I was looking for. Yeah. And like you watch your nano scalpel, which you've cut through a lot of shit, right? And you watch it dull and just like vibrate apart, and it just snaps.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to pretend like it was the strength of my wrist or my grip, and I'm gonna kind of turn to Sweet Tina, and I'll be like, "Oh man, I've been exercising, and I guess it happens." Kind of strip my stuff away.
Oh, Bass, listen. I stumped like 4 or 5 needles trying to do that very same thing. But
And you're the Queen Needler.
Well, I mean, they brought me in because of my iconography knowledge, but I'll be damned. I'd never seen anything like that. She's kind of pointing to the patch itself.
I think we should dip it in some rubbing alcohol, maybe some nail polish remover, and that'll let it soak overnight.
I mean, I got plenty of alcohol. I ain't never heard of that last thing you said, though.
I'll drink to that.
Well, if you got the alcohol, I got the drink.
I got a little hooch left.
And Womack kind of like breaks the moment. Like, need your expert opinion on what you make of this.
I think this is the arm of the first regulator. The first to fall.
Tabu's head perks up when he hears that.
This was at one point a holy knight who was cast from the heavens and fell, was slain. That's what I make of it. Now, if you want something a little more in-depth, you might ask a scientist instead of a storyteller, but I've seen things fall, and I know what happens to them.
Well, I don't want you here because you're from the outside.
There was a war a long time ago. I'd heard stories of it. I had a companion that once even sketched me a picture. It looks very similar to this. This would have been thousands of years ago.
Yet it looks new, for lack of a better term.
Well,
slightly used.
Yeah, that goes for some of us. But some metal is greater than others. For all metals exist within their own spheres. This metal is from a higher sphere.
Did y'all see anything down there? I mean...
Saw a door.
Well, I mean, I saw that too. And looking at this...
Saw a bathtub. It had an air balloon.
I mean, yeah.
There's a green light.
Zenith will point at his suit. Okay.
And like Leah, the textile person, she like comes over like when you point to your suit and like she starts like, do you mind? And she kind of wants to like take it off of you.
That's okay. That's fine. Zenith's very starved for human touch.
She's been a tailor her whole life, so you can tell she's not really like wanting to do this task because it stinks. It smells terrible, and you smell like moss. And
there's reasons for that.
I don't want to know them. Thank you.
I have
Please
moss
just-
with me. That's
Again, don't.
what else would it be?
I can't relay how much I don't want to know that. And she finally like helps you out of it, but she turns it inside out and looks at everything and looks and she confirms. These are of the same make. But this, and she kind of looks at Zenith Dan's suit, like it has eons of muck and dirt, but the fabric itself is still intact. And she like pulls out a knife and kind of like stabs it, and the knife does not go through the fabric. It just kind of rips the fabric out of her hand. These are of the same make.
I saw nothing like that there. Just the suit and the condition it's in.
I think it's time that we come clean. There was an individual, a regulator, that was coming to confront me about this discovery. They were found dead. Does anyone know why? It's okay, we're all friends here. I'm friends, Taiwu's friends, Zenith Dan's is a friend.
Y'all can give me a perception check if you have, and this would not be considered a pleasant social encounter. So for anybody that has abilities that are affected by that, which I think both of our nanos are.
I was going to say, yeah, I have abilities that give me advantages in unpleasant social encounters as well.
Oh, yeah, this could be considered neutral, leaning towards unpleasant. Sure, it's rather tense.
I'd like to spend my double effort plus my free effort in order to reduce it for me, because I'm rolling very poorly.
Okay.
So I'll get 3 points of effort. I rolled a 13.
Okay, that is yes, that is within you. You see Womack as soon as you mention, whatever. You see Womack look at Zenith Dan's.
Zenith Dan's is looking at him. Zenith got an 18.
Yeah, I mean, you see him share a look with you, and then he looks over at the other head regulator, but they remain quiet as they're just kind of like share these kind of very distinctive looks.
Because Taiwu has lived the life of people scowling and being frightful of him, would I have an advantage on a perception roll on that?
I mean, you are. I mean, I'll give you an asset, sure, for living a life of people being kind of cynical and whatever towards you.
Okay.
You can pick up when people are. Sure.
Okay. Hold on. That's an 11.
And you just had that asset. You didn't put any effort or anything.
No, I already rolled.
Okay. Yeah, you don't really notice anything.
Okay. Still playing with my toy.
Yeah, I mean, you still have like a freaking arm, like a way too long arm, and you're like, I don't know what you're doing with it. You're picking up the human arm with it. I don't know. Zinnia, did you roll a perception?
Yeah, that was a 7. So.
Oh yeah. You don't see anything. It's very tense in the room though. And most of the counselors and the regulators are quiet. The two scientists, the white coats are off in the corner, kind of shuffling their feet. Bass, that is not important right now. What is important is discovering where this came from, since it came from below. There's earthquakes, there's downdrafts. Things are, and if old Professor Boggs over there is to be believed, there's some kind of something down there. There's a lot of evidence that points to something bad being down below, coming from the fall. And I think that's the greater concern right now.
But this is just an arm. It's strange. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
You find this threatening.
Womack, one of the first things a child learns from its parents is how to trust it. We are your children in this situation, and we do not trust you. We need you to come clean in order for us to know that we can trust you before we agree into a more perilous mission. Now I promise Zenith Dan will cover their ears and close their eyes and sit in the corner, so there will be no spreading of words or publications. Or if you'd like to postpone this conversation, I need you to give me your word, and when you give me your word, I know that at a future time I can call upon you to come clean. That is some horse shit. But I know who makes them nervous, and they don't want you going on the airways and be like, chemtrails and Naru coming up from the fall.
Well, and he kind of looks over at Zenith Dan's. He's like, "Well, Zenith, do you have a problem with this?"
Yes, I do. I am not, as my friend seems to be implying, a blabbermouth.
Mm-hmm.
I can keep a secret, Counselor Womack.
Well, I mean, I know you can. Got a lot riding on this.
Yep.
You have your job back. Just go give me that information. Everything will be okay.
Tell you what, why don't you tell Zenith, and no one else needs to know. I certainly don't need to know.
I've given you all the information that I can at this time.
Appreciate it.
If that is not agreeable, we can find people to do this. But y'all seem to be a talented bunch. And I think that y'all can do just fine. If you point those talents in the right direction, which is down.
Save the sermon for Sunday. We'll go down. We expect to be well paid.
Yes.
We're doubling our rates.
Well,
We're going slow.
Regularly just started negotiating rates, I guess, but I guess you're doubling them. But we'll pay your expenses. We'll pay you hazard pay. Pay you double rates of a normal salvage.
I want you to give a little something extra to old Ruth Dan's up there. For the kids. Turn to Zenith.
Thank you, Bess. I could have asked for that myself.
I'm not sure too cowardly to do that.
I
All right.
was not. I was waiting for you to finish.
Sorry.
All right, we'll
We're
tell
going to
them
go with the
where
Wayback
where
Machine. Hold on, let's rewind for a second. Bass doesn't say that. Let me do that.
I kind of like that Bass said that.
I kind of too, but it's one of those things. I'll let Emma be the final arbitrator. But I don't
No,
know.
it happened.
Okay.
We're,
As
Yeah.
long as
we're
you're
all gonna
okay
have to
with
deal
it.
with that.
Yeah, Womack, he'll be like, yeah, I'll make sure to take care of him, and I'll
As
tell him
long-
where it came from. And he kind of looks at Zenith and just kind of smiles a bit.
I require 3 additional things. In addition, that I'm going to ask for in a non-cowardly way. 4 additional things, actually. I'm going to require my record to be expunged in full. I'm going to require a promotion. I'm going to require back pay for this egregious clerical error that the regulators undertook when they wrongly terminated me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to require that suit back that you took. It was Leah?
Yeah, Leah just kind of like, ugh, and kind of tosses it back to you as she like goes and wipes her hands off.
And I'm going to need all this business.
what business?
The arm, and the arm inside the arm.
Why do you need those?
I don't know that it
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to give an awfully compelling reason for us to let this leave. We've done quite a bit to keep it under wraps, as is.
You have angered the fallen god, and he is punishing you. You should give what is his back to him, or he will kill you all.
And then he prances about still with the arm on his own shoulder.
Sorry, I'm just imagining a kid with a fucking. Sorry, it's hilarious. Most everyone in the room is horrified when they look at what the cool. God damn it! There it is for this week. It should be part of the drinking game.
It is.
Tai Wu, with what Tai Wu was doing, like 3 times last week. Anyway, but yeah, you're gonna have to give me a compelling reason.
Compelling reasons. 1, I don't know that I won't need it. I don't know if somebody else down there might want it. It might prove useful.
Well,
And
yeah,
I haven't had enough time to properly examine. What is so important about this that you wish to keep it up here? If it goes down with us, nobody up here is going to find it, are they? You could keep it in a locked suitcase and give it to Professor DeVito over there.
It's actually Boggs. Danny's my
Sorry, you
first
just
name.
looked like a DeVito.
Danny's my first name, but my last name is Boggs.
Danny Boggs?
Yeah.
You give it to Professor Boggs over there.
I would love to examine it if I was given an opportunity.
We can keep it locked up the entire time. If you need us to.
Well, I mean, other than the fact that the name of our town is on a patch that we've never seen before or had any record of, it's only slightly unsettling. So there's that.
It's gravely unsettling.
Yeah, so I mean, that's why I'm confused by even your question. But so letting that kind of information
It
out.
wasn't ever a question so much as it was my list of demands.
Oh,
Maybe you
okay.
missed that part.
Well, I know. I'm not used to taking lists of demands, being the one in charge.
Well, you're going to be the high counselor. That's like half of your fucking job.
Yeah, okay. It's nice to know you're telling me what my job is now. What's your job again?
Special Forces Regulator, sir.
Is that what you want for your promotion?
Yeah.
Special forces?
Yes.
Okay. He goes and talks to the other counselors, and Leah is particularly does not want to give up the suit.
That suit saved my life. I'm going to require it.
No, I meant like the arm.
Oh, the arm.
Yeah.
Oh.
Mostly because it has the same fabric, but she wants to, she's like, you can hear her, she wants to examine it further and have more time with it, blah, blah, blah. She thinks she can get it off the arm itself. And, never seen anything like this, burn resistant. It's, and she's just kind of listing off things.
Can I have the patch at least? Oh, the patch.
I mean, do you have any kind of persuasion?
Nope.
Nope.
Boz might assist. Who's Zenith talking to?
She was talking to Counselor Womack.
Yeah, I'm not messing with that.
But it seems, but you do notice that it is Leah is the one that is being most stubborn. about relinquishing the arm, and she's being pretty adamant about it.
Have we rolled a 10-sided die for Leah? Where'd she fall?
I don't know.
Well, I'm about to find out. She's a 6, which is an Aru 9.
So there it is. So yeah, Leah, very fine garments. I mean, again, this is what she does for a living, so she's one of the best dressed in Aru.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's just being the one that's being the most obtrusive.
Yeah. Ooh, this is a tough one. What color is her outfit she's wearing?
It's a nice like a deep purple.
Royal.
Actually has a few pieces of jewelry adorning her fingers and ears. Most people don't.
I mean, if it's total deal breaker, I can just take the metal arm.
I mean, I was giving all the opportunity if you wanted to try to do some kind of roll or anything like that. But
No, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to see if a little role play to see if I can hedge my bets. I kind of sidle up and I whisper in my deep, deep voice. Purple is the color of love. It's the color I'm dreaming of. Purple is the color of passion. Purple is always in fashion. Purple is the color of dreams. Purple is best, it seems. Purple is the color of me. Purple is the best you see. That is a stunning outfit, and that is a poem that I wrote once. I was thinking of you. You want to get a drink sometime? Part with the patch.
Yeah, and you see her kind of like completely taken off guard by that. She was in the middle of a meeting and all of a sudden had poetry recited to her.
I know. I'm going all in. I'm going to triple effort, and I got a 14. I'm willing to take one for the team. I'll do drinks with Leia. She's the smartest of the bunch, and she's beautiful, and she wears a vibrant color, and she's the only one that looks good in it in this entire wretched city.
Yeah, I mean, she is a very successful businesswoman, probably early 50s, and a
younger woman.
Yeah.
I'm an old man.
I don't usually go for older men, but but you can tell that you actually like caught her off guard in the best way, and it's just like I suppose, and she kind of looks at you, Zenith. Were there more of those?
More of what?
And she points to the flight suit you're wearing. You're like putting back on, I guess, or you have.
There might have been. It was hard to tell.
Well, I would say that if you could promise to secure me a sample, and barring securing another sample, I get your flight suit upon your return.
Sure. That's the deal.
Okay. Because I and I alone would like to lay claim to this type of fabric and try to recreate it. But seeing as how we cannot remove it from the seal, we do not have tools that can breach it. It is both good and bad. It means it's high quality, but higher quality than we can deal with at this time. So hopefully, you taking it, you can find a way to extricate it or find me another. And that is my task for you.
Very well.
Then I agree. And you can pick me up for drinks at 9.
All right.
And she walks out of the council room. And by 9, she means when at the beginning of the 9th wind.
Turned to Zenith, rather fit for her age. Strong.
I mean, and with that, like they pretty much will we'll just let you manipulate that however you see fit. But Womack does bring out basically just like a bag, and puts it on the table and just says, if you could just keep this out of sight while in the city proper. If it comes in use, great. Please return it if possible. We want to try to, we've taken scans every which way, but it's just beyond us.
That's going to intrigue Taiwu. So he's going to scamper over to whatever that bag is, still with the arm on his shoulder, and with his free arm, try and open it and see what's in the bag.
Nothing. It's an empty bag.
Looks
about big enough to hold the arm.
And then it's gonna hit Taiwu that is what that is for. That is what that is for. And he's just gonna pick the bag up with his free arm.
Okay.
I will take good care of this.
All right. Well, mission is go down, figure out what's down there, what's going on, and get back to us as soon as you can. We're going to fit y'all with emergency chutes, and he kind of like motions over, and there's a couple of items at the end of the table that are being brought in and put down. Each of you can get an emergency chute. So in case you need it, you can just pop it, ride it up. It's literally just a tiny little, like kind of a parasailing chute. But it'll do in an emergency. And we have one tracker for y'all to go down. Range on it's only about 500 meters, but at least it'll alert you anything coming up from below. And Zenith, you'll recognize these. Certain regulator patrols get these for when they're scrapping. Just can kind of tell where scrap's coming up from below. And it looks like an alien, like almost like an alien tracker, but it's kind of three-dimensional. And so, but he hands that to you. And so once y'all depart in the morning, take care of any affairs you got to take care of tonight.
Just one.
But, well, good luck with that. Let that go. Anyway, but y'all have wish y'all the best, and hope y'all come back. And he looks around at y'all, and you're not really sure if he actually means that or not, but he kind of looks around the room. All right, and he departs. And now it's just kind of the Boggs is in the corner. The two lab coats are over there waiting for y'all to take all your gear, and the other regulators are just looks like they're kind of waiting to escort you out. But Sweet Tina is she's still there. But other than that, they just it's up to y'all what you want to do now with the rest of your evening.
Taiwu moves to grab his equipment immediately.
Okay.
I'm going to clean up. I think I have a sharp outfit for tonight. And I'm going to be a gentleman. And if I needed to make a check for the date, I used double effort and I rolled a 15.
Okay.
I just want meaningful conversation. I want it to be about her. I want to do more listening than talking, because conversation, there's talking and listening.
Okay.
And really want to see if she opens up.
Yeah, y'all go to a high-end restaurant. It's her treat. Hang on, let me.
Oh, I'll pick up the bill.
Let me just draw a card.
All out of shins. I gave them to streeter children.
Uh-huh.
Talk about my charity work.
Oof. All right. So I just drew an interaction card just to see what happens. It appears to be a lovely meal. Your insistence, though, at paying the bill kind of puts her off a bit. She lets you do it, but you can tell she's
I've
not
got
very
one.
happy about it.
I go, oh, so why don't we make a sport out of this? Whoever comes closest to guessing the total price of the meal gets it for free. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pay the waiters to tell me the price of the meal in advance, so she has to pay. That's actually in a Penn and Teller magic book. I used to do that. It's like, get the free meal. And then you pay the waiter to tell you the cost. And it's like, oh, well, look.
Okay. Yeah, so you do that. And so she finally is like, okay. And that seems to placate her. And so you have a lovely evening. What do the rest of y'all do for the rest of your evening in preparation for, let's go around. Taiwu, what do you do? As Bass entertains his high counselor lady friend.
Taiwu is still just enamored with the arm and the calling of the metal. He's doesn't want to part with it. So he is going to practice using his tendrils to actually move the wrist and the fingers of the hand while he secures it, per se.
Okay.
So he's going to focus all of his time and attention to make that as lifelike as it can be.
Okay, so
just more so because he likes the way it looks.
Yeah, so while you're doing that, I mean, you're basically doing like an understanding Numenera roll, right? Which you have. You're trained in that, I believe, as a nano.
Yes.
So go ahead and give me a roll. As you're like trying to figure this out, are you putting effort into it?
Yes.
Okay. So go ahead and do that.
All right. A 15?
Okay, you rolled a 15. You're trained in it, and you put a level of effort.
Yes.
Okay. I will say this: you're kind of messing with this thing and manipulating it. And by the way, did you put the arm in the bag also? Who has the arm right now?
No, I have the arm.
Well, you have the aperture,
the aperture,
like the prosthesis, like the mechanical arm, but the real arm. Did y'all put that back in the bag also?
I'll have that. I wanted it. I'll keep it.
Okay, so you end up with a severed arm. It feels like an arm. It still has like you can like squeeze it. You know?
Is it like rigor mortis? Or?
It's not really that stiff. No, it's kind of just sealed in this sleeve, like completely intact. And so that's a thing. And hey, Scrat and your raiding party, how you doing? We're having a little fun with a severed arm here. So Dakul, God damn it, Taiwu. It's 2 syllables and it sounds anyway. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. So Taiwu, the one thing you do notice as you're kind of manipulating this, you remember as you look at the arm and you kind of look at the angle. It's one of those things. Not until it's on your arm and you kind of look at it properly, the angle in which this thing is cut off, you realize that there is a very slight, an ever so slight curve to it. Like it's not a straight line. There is a dip, but it's almost imperceptible. But it's very reminiscent of that incident that happened oh so long ago, where you got your medal, where whatever that was that happened in the grading of HEl-A, with that one section. But you remember that it did like shear off a piece of tech that you barely got away, and when you pulled it away, like the angle looks very similar. That's the thing. After manipulating this long enough and looking at it, you're like, only because you were the one that had that moment, it's just one of those things where that's the same. Like it's like the same, and the cut is so smooth, like where it's almost like you can't even tell where it was cut. But it's just like it screams out in your memory, that incident happening.
Okay.
And so that's kind of what you do. But you manage to you literally just have you've gotten pretty good at basically having your arm in this metal arm, and it just looks like your arm's about another foot longer than it should be, and it's made of metal. But it's in a bag, I guess. So you have just a bag on your shoulder, because they were very clear about keep that out of sight.
Right.
And so, yeah, you're pretty good at manipulating this arm.
Cool. Yes.
All right. So that's that. Zinnia, what would you like to do after the meeting? Because Professor Boggs is quite. It looks like he wants to talk to you, but is very timid about it.
If she sees that he obviously wants to talk to her, Professor, you good there?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that there were no hard feelings between us. Please believe me when I say that I wanted to tell you to bring you in to see if you wanted to do more direct work with us, but my colleague wanted this to be a blind survey and a blind study, because I know him well enough, but not that well. I know him well enough to work with him, but please be careful. The energy that I read down there, it is far beyond what I've scanned that you can create. I'm not sure what it is, but it has to be massive. It has to. Trust me.
Well, it'll make it hard to miss then.
I hope so. If there's anything that you need, my lab is at your disposal. Whatever you would like. My partner might not like that, but he doesn't work for my lab. This is an outside project, so he doesn't really have a say in it. And so I just wanted to extend that as by way of apology, really.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the offer and the again, accept your apologies. All good. It doesn't seem to have harmed me, so hey, could be worse.
We certainly hope not. It's just the probabilities. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Yeah, you can use that scanner. It's pretty self-explanatory. It's really just a proximity. It'll just measure the gravimetric pressure of the wave echo. So should be able to just hone in right on the kind of just the center point. Like I said, it's not that specific, but you should know what you're looking for when you get there, really.
All right, good to know. And actually, if you have any text information, anything that you have about down below, that'd be helpful. Because then we're going down there. But
well, I don't really know what I could provide. I could look around the lab. I don't know of anything I have down there. I just have mostly tech journals for different kinds of technology and the study that we've done on the walls here surrounding us. And that's pretty much it. But I could see what I could do and have it ready for you before you leave tomorrow.
that would be super appreciated.
Okay. Thank you very much. I can't wait to find out what you gleaned from your adventures, and I only wish I had the ability and the wherewithal to join you. And then he kind of stands there
Well,
awkwardly.
good luck with that stuff, and I'll see if I can get that information back. Yeah. Dude.
Okay. And he kind of like doesn't really know. He finally figures out this is when he's supposed to just turn around and leave. And he waddles off out of the council area there. And Zenith.
Zenith is going to go back to the dance hall with the arm and little Z, and his jumpsuit.
Okay.
And he is going to take a shower. Before he takes a shower, he's going to send a message to Ruthie and say, "Can I come over and talk?" And then he's going to take a shower, and then he'll check and see what she says.
Okay. Yeah, so you take a shower. When you get done, there's a response that says, "Just talk."
And he'll say, yeah.
And so...
And he heads over to her place.
Yep, you head over there, and looks like the council is winding down. As you get over to that tower, you can see they're still in there, but there's only a few people left. Looks like they're winding their business down, but all the counselors are up in the chambers as you head down to the residential and get down to her door and knock it.
Mm-hmm.
And the door opens. What is it, Zenith?
I wanted to let you know. I don't know if Barry told you, but I've got a job.
You're going back down there, aren't you? Back into that hell?
Well,
The kids just got you back? We all went through it together? Still haven't found everybody. You know that, right? They're still missing like 6 people.
yeah, I'm.
And you're just gonna jump off and just go right back into it.
I have to, Ruthie. They're gonna.
You have to.
They're gonna. If I do this, then they're gonna let me. They're gonna give me what I need to give those kids, to give you what we need.
I'd like to say that I'm doing very well for myself.
You are.
Barry takes care of us. He has a good paying job now.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that you should put your kids back through this. The oldest has always liked you. Zen has always looked up to you.
Yeah.
And it seems like this has shaken Koba and Noble enough that they actually give a damn about their father. And I want that. I want you to have a relationship with your children. But you can only do that if you're here.
Ruthie,
Nobody comes back. And you came back.
I did.
You think you can just do it again?
Yes.
You think that's how this works? We were
I
lucky.
hope so.
We were lucky once. And you want to just throw that to the wind. Just dive off. Leave me here.
What would you have me do, Ruthie? I've never done anything else.
You could stand up for your family for once. Instead of always running off to work. It's what this is. It's what it always has been.
Ruthie?
It's another job.
Ruthie? I found out some things. And the only other people who know, the only other people who knew, they're dead now. If I don't resolve this, and I know what I know you think I'm crazy. I'm not. He's gonna take out his pocket. He has a little journal. He's gonna give it to her. It's all in there. It's all in there. If anything happens to me, you tell everybody. If I ever ask you to, you tell everybody.
She starts to open the journal. It's like,
so I'm doing what I can to make sure you're safe. When they fell and they got taken, I thought it was them. I can't ever let that happen. So that means I have to work with them.
or with
This
them,
one
what,
time.
with them, who are you talking about?
Womack. Barry.
But they're the council. That's
Yeah. It's all connected, Ruthie.
But yeah, it's democracy. It's how they got there. It's they got voted in by. Is this another one of your stories? Is this
No.
another one of your thoughts that
No,
you have?
Ruthie, I know
We talked
what
about
you
this in
think.
couples therapy. Doesn't make it real.
I know what you think about some of the things that I have been interested in. I understand. And in retrospect, I can see what you mean. But believe me, look in my eyes, Ruthie. This one is real.
I want to believe you. I do. Just come back. Please.
I have one more question. It's nothing big, nothing long term.
Okay, what is it?
Can I sleep here tonight? Not with you.
And that's where we're going to leave off.
Not with you.
And she slams the door.
No.
No,
I wanted to answer. I wanted to
not
explain.
that easy.
But yes, that's where we're going to leave off tonight, in the middle of some nice family drama, before everyone takes the plunge to start uncovering mysteries galore. I hope that enough have been sprinkled about. There are rumors and secrets and things colliding, and I'm liking how this is going so far. This was the episode that I hope it was be. Anyway, I'm very excited. I'm babbling now. So we're going around to cast and crew, like we always do in reverse order. So starting with you, Kiana, it's good to have you back this week. How'd you like it? And where can we find you?
This was so much fun, as always. Thank you for being patient with my internet. As I checked on my phone, I was like, oh, it's a whole area-wide thing.
Oh, yeah.
Can't do anything about it. But yeah, so thank everyone for being patient. But yeah, it was nice being back with Jenia and being like, okay, shit's weird, but we're just gonna roll with it. Kind of deal. Makes me put her into story things. I'm like, okay, we'll do a thing. Yeah, and I can't wait for next week. But until then, you guys find me over on Twitter at KianaS. Best way to figure out what I'm doing, because I'm doing all sorts of role-playing things, whether that's streaming or writing or starting to void. God damn it, internet, come on. Hold on. Big thing that I'll plug, though, is that this Saturday, I am running a 12-hour charity stream. So 12 hours of tabletop games, all benefiting Abigail Lobsinger, who is a local kid fighting against neuroblastoma, a type of childhood cancer. We are raising money where all the funds will be going to her and her family to help support in their fight against cancer. So come and hang out with us over on Salty Sweet Games. You can find us over on Twitch and Twitter with that handle. You'll see Emma there. I'm running a game of Honey Heist first thing in the morning, and she's going to be playing it. So yeah, 10 a.m., 10 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So if you have time, would appreciate you guys coming.
Awesome. Well, since you got thrown to there, Emma, we're gonna throw it to you.
Oh, there's nothing more fun than trying to put together the scraps of your broken family before you go off to certain death. There's nothing better than that on a nice Tuesday night. Nice little unwinding before bedtime.
Yep.
That's fun. That's very satisfying.
It's a lot. I have to say, I'm absolutely loving you as the ex-husband and me as the ex-wife. I think I don't know. We need to start our own spin-off show.
It kind of works, doesn't it? It really works. I need
us arguing in doorways.
I need to work on my Brooklyn accent so I can do this with you more. Yes, I'm Lambert. I am the communications director for WebDM. I love being on the show with all of you, and I'm so excited that we're all like back in place and doing a thing. And there's so many hugs. It makes me happy. There's lots of hugs so far.
Aru is a land of hugs. I mean, you gotta stick together in this place.
There you go. I'm really excited to be playing Honey Heist and help raise some money for Abigail on Saturday. So please come see us at 10 a.m. Eastern. And it's going to be a good week. We're having more D&D economics this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be exciting.
Yes. Learn how to run your very own socialist mageocracy. Yes.
Sounds like some Jim Davis bullshit.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
I think that one was my idea, though.
That's good.
But Trey, how was it tonight, and where can we find you?
Hey, man, another incredibly fun romp through your world. It feels like everybody's starting to catch their stride with everything, man. You can feel the growth. I'm just happy to be a part of it. I love how there's like this ragged pup that's been saved from the pound in my character that's kind of just running amok doing whatever, and I have like the most dysfunctional family that could give a damn. So that's going to be a lot of fun that I can tell in the future. Thank you all for just making the world fun. You can reach me up on Twitter at Sintel, and also on Instagram as well at Sintel. Please, if you do have time, check out lightscameradiscover.org, where we teach the filmmaking process to kids and underprivileged children who may not have the opportunity to expand their mind to the beautiful world of storytelling on film and video. Keep us in your thoughts. We have some very interesting things in the works. I don't want to speak on it now because I don't want to jinx it, but it's just a very good year with a lot of positive things happening, and this piece of positivity just adds to that momentum. So I'm just grateful. Thank y'all.
Awesome, man. Well, I wish you the best of luck with that and hope for all the best. And last but not least, saving the best for last, Grant.
Well, I don't know about that. We started with a bang, as I lost all of my insides that were inside my body. And as a hollow shell of a human being, I carried on the best I could prove, but that's why I'm the Iron Man. I get out there and I play every session. I felt... that was a really fun session for me because I was kind of out of sorts, and my character got extra shifty there. Got a little wild, got a little different. Went on a date. I think that's almost like 3 dates for 3 episodes. I'm okay with that. That's some kind of a record for a Cypher System game. But you can find me on Twitter at WisePapaGrant. I've had 6 RPG titles published this year from 5 different publishers, including Invisible Sun by Monty Cook Games. I have a title on the DM's Guild through Jeff C. Stevens, 2 titles through 2C Gaming for 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons, and more things coming down the pipeline because it's been a very, very busy year for me. I am the producer here on WebDM's Twitch channel. I will be on Eric Vulgaris' channel 1 hour time after this stream, where I will be playing the Black Hack, and you can catch me again on this channel on Thursdays. Also, later this month, we have a new show starting here on WebDM on Wednesdays, Blades in the Dark, run by Sharang Biswas, starring Mackenzie Lane, all the other people, Shana Nakasone, Yutsai Su, and Jordan Shively, Hottest Singles from Twitter, and Jim Davis. Back to you, Prue.
Well, that is awesome, and I too had a great time today. Your Bass with dates is getting like Greg's character in the Starward Bound game in brothels. I mean, it's just like every episode is in a new one, and so you know
These are meaningful relationships, not short, fleeting outbursts of emotion.
I think
Hopefully a lot
Elroy
less venereal disease.
yeah, I think Elroy would say that all of his relationships are meaningful if he could remember them. Something along those lines.
Gotta take those plums to market. Gotta take those plums to the farmer's market.
Anyway, we hope everybody out there had a great time watching the game. I'm, of course, Pruitt, the other one half of WebDM. I just want to point out the art, both in the overlay and that was shown tonight. It's all by Alexa friend. You can see her over on Twitter. I believe it's Alexa_art is her handle. You can check her out. I think she'll do some stuff if you want. But anyway, that's going to be it. We normally raid Lindy, don't we? Or
yes,
do
we are going to raid Laugh
Yeah,
Love
we're gonna-
Lady.
Hang around. We're going to raid Lindy. It's going to be
Travis
fun.
over there.
Trav's over there having fun. And but until then, y'all have a great week of gaming. And as we always say, may the dice ever roll in your favor.
Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye.